Right boys, welcome to a brand new video. The year is 1991. We are at Spa-Francorchamps in the 191 Jordan as the lights go green and we are away. Now this was famously Michael Schumacher's first ever race at this track in this car. Now, if my memory serves, he didn't do too well. In fact, I don't think he completed an entire lap before having to retire. So I thought today we would replicate that race in this car and see if we can do any better than Michael Schumacher did, as we get a pretty bad start there. But the main thing for the opening, especially at this track with that very tight first corner, is just to try and survive the chaos. Now, of course, being a 1991 Formula 1 car, the handling is a little bit sporty to say the least with this thing. The back end's a little bit all over the place. It's quite a fun car to drive, so hopefully this should make an entertaining video as we make it along the first straight and into the first set of chicanes. Now once again, I've got the difficulty actually set quite high this time, about 95%, because for some reason these cars on this track, the AI just isn't very fast at certain levels of difficulty, so you really have to crank it up. It's quite strange. I find that with modern Formula 1 cars, the AI is like really good, like they will destroy you, but with these cars for some reason they're a little bit slower. So we're running at 95% difficulty. We have the aggression set to about 40%, because obviously these are delicate Formula 1 cars. It's not like the touring cars where it's a bit more door-to-door action. And let's see how we do. Now again, this is I'm playing Assetto Corsa, and this is a mod for Assetto Corsa. This is the ASR Formula mod, which is completely free. Again, as for my last video, I got a lot of people asking for a link to the modification. So down in the description below, I will leave a link to where you can find all of these 1991 cars. In my last video, I actually linked a website that I'd used to get hold of the touring car mods, and I got a few people telling me that I shouldn't be using that website because they're actually thieves. Essentially, they take other people's mods, some of which are free, or they kind of port mods across from things like R Factor or other games, again, that are free, and then charge people for them. So I may have fallen into that trap. I did pay, I think, £10 for about 15 old touring cars, which I didn't mind paying. I thought it was a good deal, but essentially, apparently I shouldn't have. I've not been able to find them for free anywhere else, but I shouldn't have been using that website, apparently. But again, I am new to all this, especially modifying. So you live and learn. So I won't be using that site again, and thank you guys for the heads up. But this is a free mod, and I've taken it from the creator's website as well, so I've made sure to kind of follow the right procedure with this mod. I'm just going to turn my volume up a bit because I'm getting my gear changes all wrong here because I can't quite hear the car very well. There we go. Now this is only a 6-gear car. Now I am using flappy paddles, obviously, because I don't have a H-pattern shifter. But these old style cars obviously weren't using sequential gearboxes back then. It was a H-style pattern shifter, which is crazy when you think the speeds and power these cars were putting down, and those guys were kind of spending half the time with one hand on the wheel. This car in particular is 650 brake horsepower, which was actually on the slower side of things, being this was one of the kind of less competitive cars of the 1991 grid, the Jordan 191. I know it's about 100 horsepower less than the FW14 Williams, which of course at the time was dominating Formula 1. We will do another video soon where I'm driving one of those. But today, yeah, I thought we'd just replicate Schumacher's first ever race, especially with Lewis Hamilton matching his record famously at the F1 last weekend, and just see how we do. Now with these cars, if you slam on too much, you will lock up, and if you drop into like first or second too much, it just sends the back end out, so you really have to be very respectful with the kind of braking and gear changing. But after 2 laps, we are up 5 places. I say that just as again, there goes the Williams. It's just so much more powerful than some of the other cars on the grid. We've just got to try and be a bit more aggressive with our braking maybe, and you know, a bit clever with our corners to try and beat these guys, because on a straight, the Williams is just something else entirely. Now you see there, I'm kind of getting bogged down coming out of corners a bit, and that's because I'm trying to avoid dropping into first or second. I mean, here I'll go into second because it's tight corner, but if you do that too quickly, You will lose control of the cars. I'm going to try... No, he's going to have me. As I get stuck behind my teammate there, I'm going to follow the Williams through Upper Rouge. Pretty much flat out there. I'm going to drop back down a gear. And there we go. Trying to make the most out of the entire rev range of every gear to try and maximise my speed along this straight. Now here, see, second gear is probably a bit too squiffy, but can I get up the inside of the Williams? Oh, he's still there. Yeah, I didn't want to push that too much. Of course, I have got access to my mirrors here, and I have got the kind of rear view mirror going as well, which I know is a little bit unrealistic, but it just helps me avoid unnecessary collisions. As we run a little bit wide there again, to just try and avoid. That Williams is really tearing his way through the pack. We run a little bit wide there. Oh! As we nearly lose complete control of the car. Okay, I'm going to get my head down now and see if I can make up a couple more places. We are up to 13th place. I've got a feeling myself and this Williams are just going to be battling right the way to the end. See, second gear there, if you push it too hard, you will lose control very, very easily. As ahead of me here is another Jordan 191, my teammate. He's still ahead of me with that famous Fujifilm's triple tail wing. And again, as I said, that Williams is just causing me... Oh, but my teammate... Oh, I've locked up and lost it. My teammate did me a solid there and completely choked off the Williams for a second, allowing me to come flying through and completely lose control. But all the same, we are ahead of both of them. No doubt he'll probably make it back through along the main straight, but... Okay, we have a Ferrari ahead of us. Excuse me. Okay. Now, the key with these cars along here is not to touch that inside curb too much coming up the hill, because that will completely unbalance the car. Got quite a good run there. I think you might be able to make a dive past this Ferrari ahead of us coming up to the next chicane. Oh, perfect, perfect. What's ahead of us now? Is that another cartel in the sunlight? Is either another... Yeah, we got another Williams ahead of us. The Williams and the Benetton from behind, especially in this low lighting, look quite similar. In fact, I think that... Yeah, that is a Benetton, not a Williams. Okay. Whoa! Things are... Oh! As I'm pushing it to try and take places, things are becoming super squiffy, and that Williams is right in my mirrors again. And this Benetton is still to my left, so I can't afford to run out too wide. Means I'm going to have to slow down a bit. Am I clear of him? I am clear of him. There we go. Woo! I'll tell you what, with force feedback set to 110% as I have it, having the amount of kind of understeer and oversteer you're fighting with this wheel, it's a serious workout on the arms. Now, I did a couple of practice races last night to prepare for this, and as is always the case, I performed a lot better than I am now. I think trying to talk to you guys and keep my train of thought going whilst also racing definitely impairs me a little bit, but all the same, I think you guys find it quite entertaining as I get away with taking that corner flat out. Now, that Williams is right on my left. I'm going to outbrake him here. Try not to lock up too much. I did. I missed the apex, but it's fine. Let's get down to seconds. Try and get... There we go. Okay, we're up to 8th place with either 1 or 2 laps left, and I say that because Assetto Corsa does this weird thing where the lap counter jumps ahead before you actually reach the finish line. So if you haven't been counting or watching, it's saying 5 of 6, but we could be on the 5th lap now, or we could be on the 4th lap now. I'm not actually sure. It is very strange. I've looked into it. I don't know why Assetto Corsa does that. But either way, not long left now to try and... Oh, well, there's no way we're fending off that Williams. He's just so quick coming along the straights. I'm not even going to get a chance to dive past him. Oh! Well, maybe. I could have been a little bit braver there. Probably got away with it, but let's not risk it so close to the end. Oh, as I nearly lose control there. These cars are really not fond of the curbs. I find that you kind of touch, especially inside curves, you touch them in the back end, just wants to come and say hello. As I brake a bit too much there, I was kind of concerned about hitting the back of him there, and he has just left me now. Bye-bye. Okay. We're going to have to put our head down now and try and catch back up. That Williams is just going to get past the guys in front. He started, I think at the start of the race, he was one place ahead of me, and he has just worked his way up the entire grid with myself all the way through this race. I mean, I was torn between using this car and that car for this video, but I thought, you know, this car made more sense, being famously Schumacher's first ever race in 1991 around this circuit in this car, but it's just almost completely overkill using the Williams. It's so quick. You can see why, you know, Williams was so successful in the early 90s and late 80s with this model and its iterations. Okay, we actually make the apex this time. Oh, a little bit of a slidey exit. Okay, so we're now on to the final lap. Right, so this is it. We're up into 7th place. We've done far better than I thought, but the ongoing battle with that Williams seems pretty set in stone now. As I bog down coming out that corner there, as I said, I'm a little bit wary of dropping too low a gear sometimes, which is something you can improve on with practice, but I probably only put about 2 or 3 hours into this, not even just this car, into these cars, and each one handles a little bit differently. And as you said, that Williams he's just gone. He is gone. He's now harassing whoever's up in 5th place. But to be honest, oh, as I completely fluffed that apex there, fluffed the corner. We've done better than I thought we would do, to be honest. We've made it into the points, and we haven't had too much drama as we get really sloppy towards the end now. As I've said in previous videos, I find myself as a driver, when I'm not tailing somebody and I'm out by myself, especially towards the end of a race, I start to lose my lines a bit, and I start to become a little less confident of the car. Tyre wear is on in this race, so, I mean, it's only 6 laps, so it won't make too much of a difference, but the car does feel a little bit less responsive towards the end now, as my arms are really killing. I did a 15 lap version of this last night, but I thought that would be too long for a video, so I brought it down to 6 laps, which is 2 minutes a lap, 12-minute video. I thought that would be more entertaining for you guys, but whew, the last few corners now, no more places are going to be taken ahead of us. I'm pretty pleased with that. 7th place isn't too bad. That ongoing battle with that Williams was pretty entertaining until we inevitably lost. We were never going to be able to hold him off for long enough. As we make it up to the bus stop, oh, we completely lock up there. That's the issue I was trying to avoid most of the race. And we come across onto the finishing straight to take home 7th place. Woo! Well, we did a little bit better than Schumacher did in his first ever F1 race, so I'm happy with that. If you guys did enjoy this video and would like to see more of this kind of stuff, tell me down in the comment section below. And in the meantime, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.